Okay, welcome to Lab 8. So this one's all about files. We're going to read files, and then I'm also going to give you practice with a library that I've just pre-made for you, and you're going to practice using somebody else's library. Somebody that was not the implementer of the C++ standard library. Me. Okay? So, yeah, let's get the starter code. Several files, but a lot of them are sample files, so don't worry too much about it. The first thing that you'll do is I want you to make a count words file. Okay, so you'll look at countwords.cpp and you'll edit it to do the following. You're going to take, in the command line arguments, you're going to take the name of the file that you would like to open, and then you're going to take a word that you would like to search for in that file. Okay, so like let's count how many times Shakespeare says the word thou. Okay, and apparently it's that many times. Same for thee and thine. All that works just like that. And so that's essentially what you're going to be doing, but you're also going to pre-process these strings. Okay, so here's how it's going to work. Here's what I want you to do. So you have to open the file, of course. You have to read it, and then you have to figure out which string you want to search for. That's in argv2, and the name of the file is in argv1. And then you want to count how many times you see this string, except you want to see that string in a special way. Okay? So you want to count how many times you see the word, but you would like to count it as often as possible. So, for example, if you count capital V, you should treat that as lowercase v. Okay? That's the idea. There's going to need to be some kind of fixed string function that cleans up the string you're either searching for or seeing in the file. Okay? Because I would like you to count the word the period, exclamation point the, all caps the with a 0 in the front, or anywhere else. Those should all count as the word the. Does that make sense? I need you to clean up your string, transform it into a cleaned up version of itself. So get rid of everything, convert it to lowercase, remove any non-alphabetic characters. That's what CC type is for, right? That exist around it. So take only the alphabetic characters and lowercase the string. That will give you a string that you can count. Okay? That'll make all of these weird looking thes just normal the, and then you can count how many times you see it. Okay? So you got to do that for the string to search for as well. In case it's all caps, you want to also fix it. But that is the idea. So you'll use this fixed string function for everything you read from the file, and that will help you count what you're looking for as often as it really does appear. Okay? Doesn't matter if there's capitals involved, if there's punctuation involved. So these are the outputs that you should see for Shakespeare, and definitely try it on the other sample files that I've given you. Pick your own counts, make a smaller file that you know the answer for. So that's counting words. Make sure to fix those strings, clean them up before you count them. And then the final part is, I'm calling it Etch-a-Sketch. Hopefully you've all seen one of these, where you can draw stuff by moving these little knobs left or right, and that moves either its little cursor up or down or left or right. So I have made you a library that essentially does this on the terminal. It makes an Etch-a-Sketch kind of picture by reading files. So I've given you this library. It's in etch-a-sketch.h and etch-a-sketch.h and CPP. So here's how you use the Etch-a-Sketch class. You give a marking character like a star, and then you can call like go left, go right, go up, go down. That's like moving the knob. Okay? And so then you're building up things inside of this library. Feel free to look at how I'm implementing it, but I don't want you to change anything. I just want you to use this. So go left, go right, go up, go down, and at the very end, once you're done with your artwork, you can get it back as a string to print out. So you have get artwork for that, and then etch-a-sketch.cpp has the implementations of all those things. Oh, is it going? There we go. So yeah, this is how it's working. Feel free to look at it. But I'm not requiring you to change any of that. I'm just requiring you to use the library. Your job is to implement a file called readanddraw.cpp that reads a file and uses an object of type Etch-a-Sketch to do its drawing. So it's going to keep a virtual screen, and you can move it left, right, up, or down. Okay? And the pen always starts in the middle of the screen, for example. And so I'll show you some examples in a second of that. But your job is to implement readanddraw.cpp that uses the Etch-a-Sketch library to read a file, and that will control this object, and you'll draw pretty pictures like this. Okay? So that's the goal. So your job is to implement this read and draw file. Excuse me. So you're going to get stuff from argv1. That's the name of the file that you need to open. That's your input file that tells you how to run the Etch-a-Sketch. And then you need to create an Etch-a-Sketch object because we're using the library. And then you're going to read the file. Like this is, for example, input1.txt. Here's what it looks like. It's just a bunch of commands. Go left a bunch of times, go up a bunch of times, down and right. And that's how the file works. So just read a character at a time. And then you'll use that to control your Etch-a-Sketch object. So you read an L, tell the Etch-a-Sketch to go left. You read a U, tell the Etch-a-Sketch to go up. Okay? You'll call those methods. And then, once you've followed the instructions in the input file, you will print that pretty drawing that you've been building up by using the getArtwork method. Okay? Because that'll give back the string of the pretty drawing that you've been building up with a certain marking character. Usually it's a star by default. Okay? So this is what input 1 should look like. It says hi, and then the rest are other cool things that I thought of. Like this is a very simple one. Maybe it's a box. And I think I drew a house as well. That might be input 2. Okay, so have fun with that and just use my library, but also get practice using command line arguments and reading from files. Okay, so I think, yeah, that's the kind of output you should see, and that's all you have to do. So yeah, you'll be implementing countwords.cpp and readanddraw.cpp, so those are the two files that you'll be turning in. And I think that's that. Please yell at me if you have any questions, and I will see you later.